Hey there, everybody. This is game 2 in Demos Dozen. Game 2 of the Atlanta-Milwaukee series. Game 1 I did record, but came out really fuzzy. So I did download it or upload it to YouTube, but it really is tough to see. So I changed my setup a little bit here, and hopefully it's going to be better. And also I tried to record that live. And I think when I do the camera live, the quality is a lot darker and not as sharp. So hopefully this will be a whole lot better. Milwaukee did win the first game 6-0 behind some great pitching by Zach Davies, and they beat up R.A. Dickey. 6-0 was your final. Domingo Santana had 2 home runs in the game. So Braves will try to turn it around today. It'll be Jimmy Nelson going for the Brewers against Julio Teheran for the Braves. So look at the lineups real quickly. We have Ender Inciarte leading off in center. Brandon Phillips at second will hit second. Freddie Freeman's the first baseman. He will hit third. Matt Kemp's in left field. He will bat cleanup. Nick Markakis is the right fielder. He will hit fifth. John Camargo, third baseman, will hit sixth. Dansby Swanson, the shortstop, will hit seventh. Kurt Suzuki, who did not catch in game 1, will catch this game, hit eighth. And Teheran will bat ninth. For the Brewers, it is Keon Broxton leading off in center field. Eric Sogard did not play in game 1, but he is playing in game 2. He is the second baseman hitting second. Ryan Braun's in left field hitting third. Eric Thames is at first base hitting cleanup. Santana moves from the number 2 hole to the number 5 hole. He is in right field, and he had those 2 home runs in game 1. Travis Shaw is at third base hitting sixth. Jet Bandy is the catcher. Manny Pena caught yesterday, so Jet Bandy's catching today. And Orlando Arcia, the shortstop, is hitting eighth. And Jimmy Nelson will be doing the catching in this one. So no one was injured in game 1, so everybody's available. I'm not going to start doing the rest rolls this early. We'll have to go through at least 3 games before I do any rest rolls. So we're ready to go. Ender Inciarte and Jimmy Nelson facing off. And I'm going back and forth between this and the Sutcliffe replay, which is under advanced rules only. So I've got to make sure I shift the gears now to super advanced. So if I miss something, don't be shocked. It's liable to happen, but I hope not. All right, so Ender Inciarte against Jimmy Nelson. Starts us off 4-9 against Jimmy Nelson. That's a walk. So Jimmy Nelson gives up a leadoff walk to Inciarte, who, decent stealer. If he gets a jump, it's a 16. So it's a 4-6 to get his jump. Bandy is a +2 arm, so obviously another good chance there. Pena had the much better arm, but they're going to see if Inciarte can get the jump. He needs a 4-6 to do so. It's a 2. He does not get his jump. So he would default down to a 12. Jimmy Nelson's a +3. Bandy's a +2. It's a +5. So 12 + 5 would be 17. 2 for being held would be 15. He's still got a good chance to go. They're going to try at 1-15, even though he's on his second grade here. Actually, on his second grade, I think it's a -4. Let me double check that. Now that like I said, I'm getting back to my super advanced, shifting back and forth between the two. But I think if you try to steal off your secondary grade, the deduction is steeper. I believe it's a -4. But I want to make sure I get this right, so I'm going to consult the rule book and make sure that what I'm looking at is correct. So let's see here. Base run only 1 attempt. Okay. Yep, -4. So it would be a -4 reduction to go along with the +5. So that would be an aggregate +1. So it would be a 13. Ender Inciarte, a 1-13. And after all that, they're going to still try it. So 1-13, he's going. And it's a 12, so he made it. So Ender Inciarte despite not getting a good jump, the fact that Bandy doesn't have the best arm and that Nelson's not good at holding runners on, he gets to second base. So that'll bring up Brandon Phillips, second baseman. That's a 13, nothing on the D20. That's a 6-7 against a right-hander. And that's a ground ball. Ground ball, second base X. That's Sogard. And Sogard is a 3E8. 3E8. That's a 12, so obviously we'll get in front of that. Now let's check and see if it's a 15, an E8, and a 15. There is no 15 on the E8. So we'll check a 3 and a 12. 3 and a 12 is a G2. And on a G2 with a runner at second, it's going to have to, it's to the right side, so the runner will advance. So the chart says right, which means if it goes to the right side of the infield, the runner advances. That did. It went to second base. So Brandon Phillips, playing small ball, moves the runner over. So now he's at third base with one out for Freddie Freeman. Nothing happening on the D20. It's a 3-4 for Freeman, and he gets plunked, hit by the pitch. So that's going to put runners at the corners. It does set up a double play, oddly enough, and here's Matt Kemp. It's a 5, nothing on the D20. 6-12 for Jimmy Nelson. And I don't have the little chart with me to do injuries, but I'm betting 6-12 is probably one of these ones where you have to check for an injury, but I'm going to go ahead and bypass that, at least for this little short, brief thing I'm doing here. 6-12, first base X. First baseman is Thames, and Thames is a 4, E10. That's a 20, so he will get to it. A 4 and a 20 is a G1, and that's a 10, so there's no errors on 10s. So it is a 3-6-3 double play. How about that? 3-6-3 double play. And Milwaukee gets out of it without allowing anything. And Atlanta, the shutout innings continue. That's 10 innings in a row with no runs. And I guess I should have been more prepared by having the injury thing set up for Nelson, because I've got a feeling that 6-12 was probably one that he could be hurt on, but I don't have all that information in front of me, so I'm just going to let it ride as is, especially since it's only game 2 of the season. Here's Tehran. He will be on the bump, facing Keon Broxton, the center fielder. Keon Broxton. It's a 4-7 for Broxton against Tehran. 1-19 is a single, so pretty good chance there, I would say. 16, it is a single for Broxton. Now, can he run? He's got a 3-6 to get the jump, so he's going to try it. Does not get the jump, so he would drop to a 14. It's being held, be down to a 10. Tehran's a +5, so that bumps it up to a 15. And Suzuki's a 0. So that's a 1-15 going off his second chart because Tehran holds runners so poorly. So he's going to go ahead and try it, 1-15. And he's out. How about that? Keon Broxton is out, 2-6. So that time the aggressiveness did not pay off. Even though Tehran didn't hold him on very well, Suzuki uncorked a laser down there to throw him out. Here's Sogard. 5-9. 5-9's a strikeout. So Tehran, pumped up by that strikeout, or by that caught stealing, strikes out Sogard. Here is Ryan Braun, left fielder. 2-9 against a righty is another strikeout. So Tehran really pumped up after that caught stealing. Sets down the Brewers with strikeouts the rest of the way. We go to the second. It's no score. And leading off for the Braves will be Nick Markakis, the right fielder. Markakis stepping to the plate. 2-2 is a line out second base Max, but nobody's on base, so it's just one away. Here's Dansby Swanson. Check that, Camargo is batting, not Swanson. Swanson's on deck. First game I had Swanson batting before Camargo. This game I'm flipping them and having Camargo bat ahead of Swanson. So it will be Camargo, the switch hitter. 2-2 is a ground ball to the pitcher. So 2 down. So that's the second consecutive 2-2 roll I had. And that'll bring up Swanson. And if I'd rolled a 2-2 on him, he'd be a line out second base max as well. This time it's a 5-5 for Nelson. That's a strike. That's his ground ball to short. Almost right off 6 column. It's 5 column. Ground ball to short. Sometimes when I'm peering over my camera, I can pick the wrong column. I noticed I did that in the Sutcliffe replay the last game I did. So that can happen periodically. But that just comes with the territory, I guess. All right, so 3 up, 3 down go the Braves here in the second. Go to the bottom of the second. Teheran back on the mound, facing Eric Thames. Eric Thames. It's a 2-8 for Thames. Against a righty is a leadoff walk. Leadoff walk for Thames. He's not going anywhere as far as trying to run. That'll bring up Domingo Santana. He had those 2 home runs in game 1 of the series. 15, nothing happening. 6-9. 6-9. A 1's a triple. 2-20 is a single. So with 2 stars. So we got runners at the corners, unless that's a 1, which it's not. So Santana, a single. That will move Thames to third. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Brew Crew looking to break through. And Travis Shaw, the batter. Infield's a double play depth. They want to turn 2 and get out of this mess if they can. Nothing on the 20. It's a 4-6 and a 4-6. 1-10 is a double. 11-20 will be a sacrifice fly to center. And that's an 18, so it is a sacrifice fly to Inciarte. He makes the catch, but Thames jogs home for the first run of the ball game. It's 1-0 Brewers. Runner still at first with 1 away for Jet Bandy. That's a 4-2 against Teheran. And that's a ballpark diamond shot. And home runs for a right-hander at Miller Park, 1-11. So 1-11, and Bandy will go deep. It's a 10, so he does go deep. Home run, Jet Bandy. I'm not doing the robbing the home run thing, so that doesn't come into play. It's a 2-run shot for Bandy, and the Brewers lead it 3-0, and it's not been a pleasant couple of games for the Braves here at Miller Park. So 4 runs are in this inning. It's 4-0. Here's Arcia, still only 1 out. 5-7 is a ground ball second base X. That is Phillips. Phillips is a 3-12. That's 12. He'll get to it, and that's a 3. So second baseman, a 12 and a 3. And look at this. When it rains, it pours, folks. And a 3, an E12, and a 3 is a 2-base error on Phillips. So a 2-base error allows Arcia to get to second. E4 on Brandon Phillips. E4. 2-base error. And that brings up the pitcher, Jimmy Nelson. And his card is horrible, as you can see. Almost his entire card is strikeout. So if he gets his own card, he's going to strike out. It's a 5-0 on the D20. And he does get his own card. 210 is a strikeout. So that's 2 down. And Nelson, if we look at his batting totals, 57 at bats, he struck out 35 times. So that's why his card is loaded with strikeouts. Here's Ender Inciarte with 2 outs and a runner at second, Arcia. Not Inciarte, my bad. I pulled up the wrong stack. Should be leadoff man Keon Broxton. Keon Broxton. Keon Broxton. Keon Broxton, number 7th man to bat in the inning. 2 outs, runner at second. Nothing on the 20. 211 is a diamond shot against Tehran once again, and it's a 1-11. Could be another homer here at Miller Park. It's a 2. It's another home run. So 2 unearned runs thanks to the error by Phillips. Second home run of the inning. It is now 6-0 Brew Crew. And Brian Snicker doesn't know what to do here because Tehran's supposed to be one of his better pitchers, and he's getting shelled. 2-2 for Sogard, and he's hit by the pitch. Now, that's kind of interesting. He gives up his second home run of the inning, and the next batter gets plunked. So, could be a warning for Tehran as Ryan Braun comes up. He is the 9th man to bat in the inning. Nothing on the 20. It's a 1-11, and a 1-11 is another diamond shot right there. So a number 11 could be another 2-run homer. It's a 17 though, so it's a fly to left, and mercifully the inning is over. So 6 runs come across for the Brew Crew. 6 runs across for the Brew Crew. They lead it 6-0. Jimmy Nelson coming back out, and he's got all kinds of run support. And leading things off will be Kurt Suzuki for the Braves. Kurt Suzuki. Will be leading things off. And he'll be followed by Tehran, but I think they're going to pinch hit for Tehran. He just didn't have it. They'll go to somebody from long relief. And it looks like we'll get a pinch hitter for the Braves. It'll be Matt Adams. So Kurt Suzuki will lead off, followed by Matt Adams. And Tehran goes all of 2 innings and gives up 6 runs, 4 earned. So definitely a rough outing. Here is Suzuki. 4-7 against Nelson. 4-7. A 1-14 is a single. 15-20 is a ground to first. And it's a single for Suzuki. So that'll bring up Matt Adams, the pinch hitter for Tehran. Suzuki not going anywhere, down 6-0. 111 for Matt Adams is a fly. 111 is a diamond shot. So he's got a chance for a home run, a pinch hit home run. 1-17 for left-handers. And it's a 5, so it's a 2-run pinch hit home run for Matt Adams. And the lead is cut to 6-2. And Miller Park is giving up the diamond shots tonight. Here's Markakis to lead off. 5-4. Jimmy Nelson, 5-4 is a ground ball, third base X. That is Travis Shaw. He's a 3-11, but that's a 3, so that's going to be a base hit. That's a 10, so there is no error, but it is a single for Inciarte. And that'll bring up, check that. That was, how did I get Markakis up there? I got my batting order mixed up here. Hold on, folks. Something got rearranged I didn't like. All right, so the result was a single, and now I don't remember what the roll was. It was a third base X check, I do believe. Yeah, it was I believe it was a 5-4. I believe it was a 5-4. So even with Inciarte, even though I had Markakis up there, they're both lefties, and 5 ground ball third base X was the same for both, so it is Inciarte, so now we're straight. Here's Brandon Phillips. He made that crucial error his last inning. 4-3 against a right-hander. 4-3 is a fly ball right field X. That could be dangerous because Santana is a 4, E6. And that's a 6, so that might fall. A 4 and a 6 for an outfielder. 4 and a 6 is a single, 2 stars. So let's check the error. That is a 9, and he is an E6. 9 and there is no 6 there, but it is a single, 2 stars for Phillips. Single with 2 stars. Inciarte will go to third. Runners at the corners, nobody out. Here come the Braves. I mean, they got some life here. Here's Freddie Freeman. Nothing happening. That's a 5-8. That's a strikeout. So 1 away. Brings up Matt Kemp. Kemp. Nothing on the 20. It's a 2-3. Ground ball first base A. That's going to end the inning. So unfortunately, Kemp hits into yet another 3-6-3 double play. He's 0 for 2 with 2 double plays. Talk about a rally killer. So we go to the bottom of the third. Braves get 2, but that's it. Could have been more. And we go to the bottom of the third with the score. 6-2 Milwaukee, and now we need a new pitcher for Atlanta. And Kemp's going to be pulled out on a double switch, so the pitcher they bring in can pitch a few innings without having to bat. So we're going to pause the video and come back with the new pitcher. Okay, bottom of the third, new pitcher for the Braves is right-hander Luke Jackson. He's going to hit in the 4-hole, previously held by Kemp. And Matt Adams is going to stay in the game to play left field. He had that pinch hit 2-run homer. He's going to stay in the number 9 slot. And the bad part is defensively in left field, he is a 5 with a +3 arm and an E22. But the Braves will take their chances that he won't get a left field X. So here comes Eric Thames to lead things off for Eric Thames. 4-2. 4-2 is a fly to center. And that's 1 away. Brings up Domingo Santana. 4-10 off of Jackson is a ballpark singles check. And for a right-hander, it's only 1-3. And it's a 19, so he will line it to Swanson at short. 2 up, 2 down, so maybe Luke Jackson can provide some stability for the Braves. Here's Travis Shaw. 6-10 against a lefty is a ground ball to second. So that's a 1-2-3 inning for Luke Jackson. And after 3 complete, it's not really a blowout anymore. It's Milwaukee ahead 6-2, but certainly game's not over by any means. Here comes Jimmy Nelson back on the bump, and he's going to be facing off against the number 5 hitter, Nick Markakis. So Markakis will be leading things off here. Nick Markakis. And his first time up, Markakis lined to second. So he's going to see what he can do to lead things off now. 4-7 against Jimmy Nelson is a strikeout. So 1 away for the third baseman, Camargo. John Camargo. It's a 1-5 against Nelson. And that's another strikeout. So back-to-back Ks. Start the 5th. Here's Dansby Swanson, shortstop. Grounded to third base his first time up. It's a 2-11. And it's a ground ball to first. That's going to end the inning. So maybe both pitchers are getting stable again. We go to the bottom of the bottom of the fourth. It is 6-2. Favor the Brew Crew. Luke Jackson back for his second inning of work. And he's facing Jet Bandy. It's a 1-5, and that is a strikeout. 1 away. So Jet Bandy homered his first time on a ballpark check. This time he strikes out. Here's Arcia. It's a 6-7. That's a ground ball, second base X. That's Phillips. He already made 1 error. It's a 3-E12. So we know he will get to it. It's an 8 on an E12. And there is no 8, so that's a good play. So Arcia hit it to Phillips last time, and got reached on a 2-base error, but this time he is out. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Jimmy Nelson, who has all those strikeouts on his card. But we're off the pitcher card, 6-8, and that's a ground ball to short. So Luke Jackson faced 6 batters and retired them all. So he's going to get a chance to go 3 innings unless his time comes up to pinch hit. So we go to the 5th. Still 6-2 Brew Crew. And leading off will be the catcher, Kurt Suzuki. And actually Adams will bat next because he's in the 9 spot. That's where the double switch comes in. Nelson, a 1-2 10 under Suzuki. And that is a ballpark singles check, but again, as a right-hander, it's only 1-3. And he's going to line to short. Out number 1, here's Matt Adams. He had that pinch hit home run last inning, staying in the game to play left field. It is a 6-5 against the lefty, and that's a walk. So Jimmy Nelson wanted no part of Matt Adams as he gives him the 1-out walk. Brings up Inciarte. He is 1 for 1, a walk, single, and a stolen base. And that's a 6-6 against the lefty, and that's a strikeout. So 2 down for Brandon Phillips. If the Braves want to dent the scoreboard this inning, Brandon Phillips has to do something. 3-4, he did not. It's a clutch at bat chance, but nobody runners on first, not on second, so it will still be an out. Ground ball to first, and the inning is over. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, and Luke Jackson will in fact come out for his 3rd inning of work, and why not? He's faced 6 batters and got them all out. So here's the top of the order now for Keon Broxton. That's a 2-8. 2-8 for Broxton is a strikeout. So Luke Jackson pitching more like Cy Young here. 7 in a row retired. Here is Sogard, the lefty, 6-7. That's a ground ball second base X, so we're again looking at Brandon Phillips. 3E12 and 8. He will get to that. Now it's an E12 and it's a 16 on an E12 for second base. E12, 16, no 16 is there, so he makes the play. A little shaky, but he made it. 2 up, 2 down, and Luke Jackson has retired all 8 batters he has faced. Now the only man he hasn't faced, Ryan Braun. That's a 5-8, and he will walk Ryan Braun. So a 2-out walk to Braun, and now here's Eric Thames. He's the batter that he started out facing. So Thames, a 1, so chance for a wild pitch. He's a wild pitch rating of 17, so he does uncork the wild pitch. So he could be tiring a little bit. No wild pitch check that time. Here's Thames, though, runner at second with 2 outs. 1-3 is a ground ball to first. It's going to end the inning. 1-2 would have been an injury check on a hit by pitch, but he missed that, so 1-3. And look at that. Luke Jackson goes 3 shutout innings of relief in back of Tehran. So he's going to need a couple days off to recover from pitching those 3 innings. But Brian Snitker and the Braves appreciate it, saving their bullpen. And Jimmy Nelson will be in to start the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th, and he's facing Freddie Freeman. It'll be Freeman and then a pinch hitter because the cleanup spot is up where the pitcher is batting. So Jace Peterson, left-handed hitting Jace Peterson, will pinch hit for Jackson. He will pinch hit. But first things first, it is Freddie Freeman. So 3 left-handers this inning. 3-7 against a right-hander is a ground ball to second. 1 away, and now that brings up the pinch hitter Jace Peterson. That's a 4-8 against a lefty, and that's a strikeout. So Peterson fails in his pinch hitting duties. And that'll bring up Markakis. It's a 4-8 for Markakis. And that's a strikeout to end the inning. So Jimmy Nelson had a little hiccup in the 3rd, but has been solid since. Go to the bottom of the 6th, still 6-2. We need a new pitcher for Atlanta. And they will go to someone who did not, and they're trying to use people that did not pitch in the first game. So they're going to go to Sam Freeman, a lefty. Sam Freeman. He will be in. And he's going to start out facing Domingo Santana. And they're going to see if they can get at least 1 inning out of Freeman, if not 2. Santana, 2-7 against a lefty, is a 1 for a double. Anything else will be a single. And it's a single for Santana. Continues his hot hitting. Now here's Travis Shaw, lefty on lefty against Freeman. That's a 2, so we got a chance for a pass ball or a balk. It's a balk chance. Freeman, though, has no balk rating, so we skip all that. A 4-9 against a lefty is a strikeout. So he strikes out Shaw. Brings up Jet Bandy, catcher. He's homered and struck out. That is a 5-11 against a right-hander. It's a ground ball shortstop A. That's a double play, 6-4-3. Just what the doctor ordered. Inning is over. And they save Freeman. He only faced 3 batters, so he's going to be good to go for the next inning. And we'll go to the 7th. Still a 6-2 ball game. Jimmy Nelson is actually started his point of weakness inning last inning, but he didn't give up anything, so he's still definitely good to go. He'll be facing Camargo, Swanson, and Suzuki. 5-8 against the switch hitter batting left is a strikeout, so Nelson still hasn't given up anything since reaching his point of weakness inning. Here's Swanson. 1-8 for Swanson is a ground ball to short. 2 down for Kurt Suzuki. And then Matt Adams is on deck. So here is Suzuki. 1-6, and he's going to pop it up to short. And that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 7th. And for the Braves, they're going to still send out Freeman. Why not? He pitched so well there. Their bullpen has really pitched well. It's just Tehran got smoked in the first 2 innings. Took him out of everything. Arcia is going to lead off, and then we're going to pinch hitter for Nelson because 7's as far as they want him to go on his first start of the year. So Arcia is going to lead off against Freeman. That is a 6-10 against a right-hander. Ground ball shortstop X, that is Dansby Swanson. And Swanson's a 2 E24. It's a 2 and a 6, he'll get to it. And that's an 11. E24, there is no 11, so it's a good play for Swanson. 1 shortstop grounds to the other. And now we'll get a pinch hitter for Jimmy Nelson. His day is done. We'll check the Milwaukee bench and see who they're going to bring in. And it appears they're going to bring in Jesus Aguilar. Powerful right-handed hitter, Jesus Aguilar, will pinch hit for the Brew Crew. And then we'll go to their bullpen in the 8th. Freeman, a 3-9. Aguilar against a lefty is a strikeout. So Freeman says, bring him on. I don't care who you bring on to pinch hit. I'm going to strike him out. And the Braves bullpen has been stellar. Here's Broxton, 6-3. 6-3 is a fly ball left field X. That's the problem. Matt Adams is in left. They were trying to avoid that left field X, but they couldn't do it. He's a 5 E22. And that's an 8, so that's going to probably be a double. We'll check it out here. A 5 and an 8. 5 and an 8. No, it's only a single. So only a single, and that's a 9, and he is an E22. But he does make a 2-base error on top of it. So it's a single plus a 2-base error, so Matt Adams butchers everything. And that will allow Broxton to get to third base on the error by Adams. So runners are at runner now is at third with 2 outs. And Eric Sogard, the batter. Another lefty on lefty matchup. Freeman, nothing on the 20. It's a 5-11, and 5-11 is a fly ball left field, and that's going to end the inning. So he pitches around the mess that is Matt Adams in left field. And we go to the top of the 8th. We'll get a new pitcher for the Brew Crew. And let's see who that's going to be. In the previous game, Barnes and Suter were the 2 pitchers. So we'll try to find someone else to come in. And let's see, they've got Knable to close it, but there's not really even a save situation yet. So let's see who they're going to go to here. they're going to go to Carlos Torres. So Carlos Torres, the right-hander, is coming in. He will take over here in the 8th, protecting a 6-2 lead. But you can bet if he gets into trouble, there will be more bullpen action. He's going to be facing Matt Adams to lead off the top of the 8th. And then we may very well get a defensive replacement for Adams, figuring he won't bat again. It's a 4-10 against Torres. Fly ball to left, just missed a home run diamond shot, but it's just a fly to left. One away, and we're back to the top of the order for Inciarte. Ender Inciarte. It's a 5-11. 5-11 is a ballpark single, and Inciarte, a lefty, is a 1-9 on a single chance. It's an 18 though, so he will line to second. 2 down for Brandon Phillips. Brandon Phillips. 5-7. 5-7 is a 1-7 single, and 8-20 is a liner to third. That's a single, so a 2-out single for Phillips. Brings up Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman, the batter. Nothing on the 20. It's a 1-9 for Freeman, and all those hits in column 1, but he found the 1-9, which is a fly to left, and the inning is over. So, nothing doing there for the Braves. They will still be down by the score of 6-2. And we will get another double switch, and this time the pitcher will go back in the 9 hole, and the left fielder will go back in the 4 hole. And they're going to take Matt Adams out. And let's see who they're going to bring in. Actually, they may not be able to do that because they don't have any more left fielders. They've already used Jace Peterson to pinch hit, so they have no other left fielders, so they're going to have to stick it out with Adams. And they're going to just play it straight up and hope he doesn't get a left field X. But they do need a bullpen pitcher. That's one thing that's non-negotiable. So they'll go to the bullpen, and they will go to, let's see who they want to go to here. Actually, I take that back. They do have a left fielder they can go to, another Adams, Lane Adams. So Lane Adams is going to come in, and he's going to hit in the number 4 slot, previously held by the pitcher. And the pitcher will take over Matt Adams' old spot, number 9 in the order. So Matt Adams is out. Lane Adams, much better defender. And let's look at the bullpen. They used Ramirez, Vizcaíno, and Mott yesterday, and they've already used Jackson and Freeman today. So is there anybody they have not used yet? Ian Kroll. They have not used Ian Kroll. So, or Jim Johnson, who's their closer. So they're going to use Ian Kroll, even though he's a lefty. It's Braun, but he's going to have Thames coming up next, so he will get to face at least one lefty. But Ian Kroll comes in, and the Braves bullpen has been stellar. 5 shutout innings of relief. All right, Braun against Kroll, 5-8 against a righty is a ground ball second base X, and Phillips has been busy with those X chances. That's a good play on a 19, and that's a 9, and Phillips is an E12. So checking the E12, make sure there's no 9. There is no 9, so Phillips does make the good play. One away. That will bring up Eric Thames. And Corey Knebel is loosening in the bullpen. I think they just want to get him an inning of work because he didn't get to pitch in the first game, and they don't want to go 2 straight games without pitching. 6-4 for Thames, left-hander. 6-4 is a ground ball third base X. That's Camargo. He's a 2E15. 10, he'll get to it, and a 12 on an E15. There is no 12, so it's a good 5-3 ground out. Brings up Domingo Santana. Up for the Brew Crew. It's a 5-7, and that is a 1-4 double. 5-20 is a fly to center. and it's a 5, so it's a fly to center to end the inning. Kroll pitches 1 inning of shutout relief. And the bullpen for the Braves, as we said, was very stellar there. They got by with just 3 bullpen guys, so could have been a lot worse. And we're actually going to get a double switch for the Brewers because Domingo Santana is a poor right fielder, and he made the last out, and they're going to make the pitching change anyway. So we're going to have Corey Knebel is going to come in and hit in Santana's spot, and Hernan Perez is going to come in and play right field, and he will bat in the 9 position. So we'll take care of those little duties here, and we'll also get Corey Knebel in the game. So Corey Knebel is in, and the new right fielder, as we said, is Hernan Perez, and Perez is a 3 E7 with a 0 arm, whereas Santana was a 4 and a 6, so he's a 3 instead of a 4. See if that makes any difference. We don't know. Leadoff man will be Lane Adams because he's the one who came in the double switch for the Matt Adams switch. So Lane Adams will be your leadoff batter. Lane Adams. So Lane Adams, a 3-8 against Knebel, is a strikeout. So Lane Adams out on strikes. That'll bring up Markakis, followed by Camargo. 2-6 for Markakis is a strikeout. So Corey Knebel not messing around. 2 straight strikeouts. Brings up Camargo, last chance. It's a 3-7, and that's a fly to center. Ball game is over. The Brew Crew score 6 in the second and make it stand up. Final score 6-2. Winning pitcher was Jimmy Nelson. The loser was Julio Teheran. No save for Knebel because it was not a save situation. And stellar work by the bullpen. Jackson, Freeman, and Kroll threw 6 shutout frames in relief of Teheran, and only gave up 2 hits. So 6 innings, 2 hits, and 1 walk. No runs. Excellent bullpen work, but it was all for naught as the Brew Crew proved to 2-0. Braves go to 0-2, and that's going to do it here from Miller Park. So hope you all enjoyed that presentation of the Demos Dozen. Hopefully this video will turn out better than Game 1 did. I didn't even post Game 1 because it looked so bad. So until next time, hope you all enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.